So it's finally nearly Christmas. The year is coming to an end. And later on today, I'm going to be putting together my favorite videos, my favorite crazy stuff from the whole year of 2025. It has been a crazy year for me in many, many ways. But yeah, anyway, we're going to do that. But first, a couple of Christmas cracker jokes. Mind you, where I get my Christmas crackers is probably different to where you get your Christmas crackers. Why does Santa Claus always look so jolly? Because he knows where all the naughty girls live. Did you hear that the Grinch tried Viagra the other night? He grew 3 sizes that day. What's the difference between Santa Claus and Tiger Woods? Santa knew to stop at 3 holes. You know, I spent all Christmas Eve staying up waiting for Mrs. Claus to come. Then there was just an awkward silence and she got dressed and left. Haven't heard from her since, actually. What has a train set and boobies got in common? Both were made for kids, but I just can't help playing with them. While I was paying the cashier from a Christmas tree, she said, "Are you going to put that up yourself?" I said, "No, I'm going to put it up in the living room, you freak." Anyway, I'm sure all of you guys know way better Christmas jokes than me, so please put them in the comment section down below. I can't wait to hear them. Now, folks, I don't want to alarm you here, and I hope you're on your absolute best behavior, but we have a legitimate legal scholar on our hands here. This guy, I watched some of this earlier. I had to stop. I had to stop watching it and ChatGPT everything he was saying because I just wasn't smart enough for this guy. So let's check this absolute genius out. Judge Simpson, I would hope, understood what he was saying because clearly this guy's a legal scholar. Let's get into it.
I have an order for forensic evaluation. Is that a
I'm going to go grab my coffee and lift it over there.
State your name first.
Sebastian Phillips.
Go ahead, sir.
So I believe my judicial pursuits in its origin, once informed, were squandered and stifled erroneously and imprudently against me and my best interests. I had people calling me, hanging up the phone. The public defender's office resorted to hearsay involving asserting inaccurate depictions of the actual police report without me having it in front of me. Let's see.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they didn't. When I was trying to get arraigned, she didn't make sure that I had the information in front of me to refer to make sure that the information was correct and accurate. I believe that is a form of abuse of discretion.
She wouldn't have had the police report. That's not the way the process works.
Well, she cited
your arraignment. It's very unlikely they would have had the police report.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure because she cited.
I know. That's why I'm correcting you.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Well, what's your next point?
Well, I'm just saying she cited information based off the police report. That's all I'm saying.
She cited information based upon what she may have known, but she may not have had that physical report.
I know. That's fine. But all I'm saying is it affected my ability to properly assess which direction I wanted to go personally for the matter.
What do you mean?
Because she said it was on Park Street. I looked up Park Street. It wasn't even.
So what does that mean? Why did that affect your ability to do
wasn't
anything?
even?
It's
because
misdirection.
after the arraignment, this date would have been set.
See, this is exactly why you need a lawyer. All right. Like what he said right there was already really stupid. And I mean, it probably couldn't be used against him, but it just points out the fact that it's easy to say something really stupid and get yourself in trouble. So he's like, I looked up Park Street and that's not where it happened, basically, you know, to paraphrase. It's like, okay, so it did happen, just not where they said it happened, like specifically. Not to mention that this is before the prosecutors probably even cited the police report. So yeah, that was very stupid.
I'm just saying it's a form of misdirection when you tell someone that a crime occurred at one point when it didn't actually occur. Once I found out that.
And so what prejudice has occurred to you?
I just believe it's abuse of discretion. And
abuse of what discretion?
Whose discretion?
Outcomes in their best interest.
To steer whose outcomes?
The fate of my judicial charge in their best interest.
In whose best interest?
Theirs, not mine.
Theirs being whom?
Public defender's office.
The public defenders, guess what?
That's your best interest.
And them are on the same side.
I'm not
so
saying
if it's steering it in that direction, you win.
I'm just saying human error.
Okay, they're human beings. That happens.
Yeah, but
okay, so what?
I'm saying is, okay.
What is your next point?
Okay, so CMH workers were not informed. I had to inform the CMH workers. I'm a client of CMH.
Yes, sir.
And I do receive Section 8, and I do believe that, you know, they're trying to oust and discriminate minorities who are affiliated with Section 8 and CMH.
Who's trying to do that?
My worker, Steve.
Oh, at
And
CMH?
yes,
I don't have anything to do with CMH.
I know, but I wanted to know if I would lose my Section 8 and my Social Security if I was ever charged with a crime. I haven't been charged with a crime
I don't.
since I was 47.
I can't
I mean,
answer
18.
that. I think typically, depending on the nature of the crime, because I do a lot of the work, you're not going to lose Section 8.
Okay.
You may have some issues with Section 8.
Yeah.
But, and I'm just telling you that based on my experience. Your individual case may be different where they may decide to take your Section 8.
Yeah.
So don't go saying Judge Simpson said this wasn't going to happen and violated some right. I'm just trying to instruct you that that can happen, but it's rare.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that that information is pertinent to my choice of plea. So I'm saying if I knew I was gonna like lose my Social Security or lose my Section 8, that would give me the decision to make, which would be in my best interest. And finally,
hold on. Prime example, okay, of why you need a lawyer. Guess who could probably answer that question for you? A lawyer. Congratulations, you played yourself. Even so, here's the thing. He said that it's pertinent to him deciding how to plea. Okay, that's kind of ancillary. That's aside from what the issues at hand are, which is, you know, whether or not a crime was committed and whether or not you're likely to have committed it. You've heard that phrase multiple times. And that's exactly what this is about. Not about how that might affect you in the future and how those effects will dictate what direction you take your plea. That's got nothing to do with the court. That's your decision. You know, there's situations where somebody might be charged with a relatively minor offense that might result in, you know, maybe no conviction that's going to affect them or a very low fine or something like that, where they might prefer to just, you know, plead guilty, get it over and done with so that they can just move on and not have it hanging over them and not have these issues of bail and what have you. That's completely aside from the facts of the matter of what is alleged to have happened. So yeah, nobody gives a shit, really, dude.
I wanted to say that my doctor Bright, who's my doctor, she stated that she was ordered to kill me, and I filled out a form with Laura, Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. I have a copy of the order. I gave it to prosecution, and I was abducted out of the ER at the hospital, and I reported to the University of Michigan Police, and the governor also was informed, so she's aware what's going on.
Governor Whitner?
Yes.
Oh.
I can't.
So he was abducted, probably by aliens or something sent by the CIA or whatever. I don't know. Crazy people think. I tell you one thing, if this lad was abducted by aliens, they wouldn't be fecking long bringing him back.
For her stepdad. I was his personal caddy. For her stepdad at Country Club in Lansing.
Yeah.
And also Justice Brennan Sr., just to let you know, before he passed away.
Just to let you know, bud.
Yeah, and I caddied in the LPGA for 3 years. So anyway, I just wanted to say that finally, CMH has resorted to consternation and contumacy involving the death threats, adulterating medications with opioids.
Ooh.
Do you know a pharmacy in conjunction with CMH?
Okay. Good.
And FDA MedWatch notification was notified. There's a procedure for that if it happens. So I believe they're trying to oust, avenge, and assassinate me. Based on the civic income, I can give you all the information. You can contact the governor's office too, because they know everything.
So this kind of harkens back to the times of the flat earth stuff. If you're watching this video right now and you've been a follower of the channel since the flat earth days, right? Leave a comment down below and let me know, right? Because I find it very interesting. I'm first of all incredibly thankful that there are so many of you out there from the flat earth days that have followed me this far, you know, and through the changes in the channel and everything that's come along with it. But basically the point being, there's this kind of, I won't go so far as to say a God complex, but there's a complex in terms of somebody's self-importance, right? So I used to see this with that guy Nathan Thompson, okay, and a few other flat earthers, but in particular Nathan Thompson, where he had convinced himself and a few other, you know, mouth breathers that the earth was flat. he had this impression that the government were trying to get him because of this incredible knowledge that he had. This is the same guy, by the way, that believes that airplanes run on compressed air and not fuel. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But he believed that the government was trying to get him, basically, because he was going to out them for this knowledge or whatever. And I don't recall who in the flat earth, anti-flat earth sphere used the term, but it was a very good point. You're just not that important. Even if you did kind of expose this whole thing or whatever, you just be laughed out of it, right? Like, you're just not taken seriously. You're not that important. And I don't know this guy from Adam, but he's not that important. Like, why would he need to be assassinated?
And I know that I haven't been charged with a crime in years. And I just don't think that, it's something that is criminally intended or actually like occurred to the charge that you suggested in the form of a felony. I think that's overcharged. It's just my opinion.
This guy definitely went on ChatGPT and asked for a list of like lawyery sounding words that he could just throw together, because none of that made any sense really.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order a forensic evaluation as requested. I've signed the order. I'll set a competency hearing in this matter for
March 19th.
March 19th, 2026, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
So can I make the final request or statement? So you're saying that I can't request a motion to suppress and dismiss on this basis?
Do what?
Based on
Request
what?
a motion to suppress and dismiss the charges.
I don't know
on
what
these
that kind of
findings.
motion is. If you're looking to suppress evidence, then
No, not-
maybe you need
not
to talk to
necessarily
your attorney about that.
Like immunity.
Immunity.
Yeah, from this charge, based on all that has occurred.
You want a motion for immunity?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that is, and I couldn't order that anyway.
I thought it was a legal term. I studied on.
Well, it's a legal term, but you're using it incorrect.
Oh, okay.
And Your Honor, if I may,
Yeah, no, this guy definitely just looked up legalese. Like, what would grant you immunity in this scenario? I don't even know what the charge was. I didn't. It doesn't even matter what the charge was. Like, what would grant you immunity in this matter? I don't understand whatsoever. He's like, I thought that was a legal term. It's like, oh God. Well, Your Honor, jury dismissed pro se lectern momento. Yep, case dismissed. Out you go. You just looked up words, didn't you, bud?
I did speak with Mr. Phillips last week, and
How'd that go?
I told him
Bet that was something.
we went over options, and he was on board at the time with having an evaluation done.
Got it.
And I have been in contact with his CMH worker. They know that he had a hearing today as well. So
All right.
That's only because
So
she
we
didn't
ought to be able to
agree
get-
with me.
Pardon?
She didn't agree with me.
Agree with you about what?
All the stuff I just told you.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what will happen is they're going to do the evaluation. We'll figure that out. We'll see in March and see where this case
But
goes.
she won't even tell me the outcomes of that.
Of
If I
what?
have an evaluation, what happens after that?
Well, it depends on what the
Depends,
evaluation
yeah.
says. There's no way for her to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
sorry, I'm not a fortune teller, Your Honor.
Pardon?
I'm not a fortune teller. I can't
It's
tell the
just
future.
it's civil procedures, legal procedure. That's all. She didn't cite the proper procedure once this forensic evaluation occurs and what will happen after that. What are my options? She didn't
Yeah,
tell me.
because there's so many different outcomes. It's not a black or white thing. In fact, it's mostly gray area. The black and white of it is this person is completely incompetent and cannot stand trial. The white is this person is completely competent and can stand trial. And then there's this huge gap in the middle where a multitude of different options can present themselves. So how is she supposed to know? She's supposed to sit there for weeks and talk you through stuff that you don't know or understand.
Any of that. And she didn't call me in about a whole week.
You got grievances against everybody.
No, it's not
She's
agree-
done a fine job. She got you here.
I know.
She's protected every constitutional right that you have. You ought to be thanking her rather than
I
criticizing.
appreciate it.
Rather than criticizing or saying she didn't do something.
I didn't mean
The
to
very
criticize.
fact you're standing here and like your liberty has not been taken and you've been allowed to say anything, you need to thank that young lady
I
standing next
appreciate
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bond will continue.
Well, there we go, folks. A real life legal genius. I hope you enjoyed that. People like that can just be so frustrating. I can't even begin to imagine what it's like for public defenders. And you know they're still going to do their absolute best for that person no matter what. And rightly so. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely rightly so. But it's got to be really frustrating. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, folks. And we'll catch you in the next one. Sláinte.